Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to explore one of the most important concepts in statistics, standard deviation. I'll take you through the real life examples, visualizations, and formulas to make it super simple. Let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. Standard deviation tells us how spread out the values in a data set are. If all values are close to the average, the deviation it's a little low. But if they start to vary a lot from the average, the deviation is high. It's like asking how consistent is the data. You might be thinking, where does this even matter? Well, it's everywhere. In academics, it tells you how consistent your marks are. In finance, it measures how wild or stable stock prices are. In sports, it checks a player consistency. Even the weather uses it to compare temperature swings. Now, let's see how we calculate it for ungrouped or individual data. The formula is sigma equals the square root of the sum of the square differences from the mean divided by the number of values. Sounds tricky, right? Well, it's really just four steps. Find the mean, subtract each value, square the result, and then take the average. And finally, square root that. Here's a visual to understand it better. Imagine these bars as student marks 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. The mean is 8. See how some values are below it, some above. Standard deviation tells us how far each bar is from the central value. The taller the difference, the larger is the deviation. For group data, like a frequency table, we slightly modify the formula. We also consider how many times a value appears. That's called frequency. So we use a weighted approach, multiplying each deviation by its frequency. The concept remains the same. It's just applied smarter. Let's talk about common mistakes. First, don't forget to square the deviations. It's easy to miss. Second, don't use n minus 1 unless you're told to. Third, avoid rounding too early. And remember, it's not just memorizing the formula, understand the why behind it. Let's quickly recap. Standard deviation shows how consistent or spread out your data is. For individual data, follow the four step formula. For group data, multiply by frequencies. Use visuals to understand it better. And always double check your process. Hope you found this easy and useful. Thanks for watching. If this helped you understand standard deviation better, give it a like and share it with your friends. If you have questions, drop them in the comments below. Keep learning and see you in the next one.